Hey, welcome back. I'm Ross with Sky Management. Today we're going to talk to you a little bit about P-traps, so stick with us. This is known as a P-trap. You might recognize this from underneath your sinks. They are also underneath bathtubs and showers. There are two pieces. It always comes in a kit all together. The two pieces separate in the middle, and this part has a flared edge on it that fits down into the U piece, and then the slip nut screws down onto the U piece. There's also another slip nut on this side where the tail piece connects. This is a tail piece. This runs up to the bottom of a sink. This is 1.5 inch size for a kitchen sink. Then there's 1.25 inch size that goes for a bathroom sink. But you can use the same 1.5 inch P-trap on your bathroom or your kitchen sink. To change between the two, you'll have to use the right gasket. This is the 1.5 inch gasket for a kitchen sink faucet. If you are using a bathroom sink like this one here, this is a 1.25 inch tail piece, so you'll have to have the skinnier gasket for your P-trap. So now we're going to talk about taking one of these apart. There are several reasons why you might want to take one of these apart. One is if it's been leaking and you need to replace it, or possibly just replace the gaskets that are in it. These can get cracked and stuff with age, so they do need to be replaced occasionally. So this is how you do that. Also, if you drop something down the sink, like your wedding ring or what have you, then it will end up down here in the trap, and you can get it out by removing it, and here's how. To remove the trap, you will need to loosen the slip nuts here and here. They have oftentimes thumb grips on them so that you can just do them by hand. If they're on there really tight, you may need a pair of adjustable pliers like this, or a pipe wrench like this to loosen these nuts. Now, keep in mind, there's always water in here. The reason why there's always water in here is to keep sewer gas and air from coming back up the pipe and out into your home where you smell it. So there's always water inside this trap. So when you loosen the nuts, you're going to want to have a bucket underneath. You'll loosen these and let the water drain out like so. And then loosen the other one. When you take it off, you can dump it out into your bucket and get your wedding ring or whatever was in there out, and then you can put it back on if you just wanted to get something out of there. If you're wanting to replace this with a new kit, there's another slip ring right here. It will be stubbed out of the wall. Your PVC line, or sometimes it's iron or even galvanized line, can be stubbed out of the wall, and the plumbers, when they built the structure, will typically have a threaded end on it. I'll show you as soon as I get this one out. So this piece will be threaded here, and it is glued to the PVC pipe that is stubbed out of the wall. So this part is fixed on here. If you need to replace this piece, then you're cutting into the wall at that point because it's going to be back behind your drywall. These are part of the P-trap kit, but they will need to be cut to length. As you see, this one is much shorter, so you can use a sawzall or a hacksaw to cut these pipes to length. Then when you're putting them back together, it's good to use a new seal. These are tapered, so the skinny end goes inside the pipe, and the fat end is where the slip nut rests up against. So when I put this back in there, the skinny part goes into the pipe, and then the slip nut goes over the wider end. And you're just going to want to go kind of loose with it at first. Then you'll go to put your trap back on. Again, this one's kind of gross. The tapered end goes down, and there's the tapered end on that side as well. You will loosely put them on first to make sure everything fits the right distance. And once you get all of the pieces connected, you can go back through and tighten all of them down. You want to get them fairly tight by hand, but you don't want to over tighten them, so just go snug with your fingers, and that should be good enough. That's how you take apart and replace a P-trap underneath a sink, and this is the same procedure for kitchens and bathrooms. So thanks for joining us here at Sky Management, and we'll see you back here next time.